Morning, everyone. Okay, standing today. Gonna make this one quite quick. Just get us moving, wake up. All about waking up the body in the morning and just building a bit of energy and getting going. So we're going to start at the front of the mat. I'll start facing you and just bring yourself into a comfortable standing position for you. Nice and tall, shoulders back and down, and paying attention to the quality of your breath and taking a nice deep inhale and exhale, letting everything go. And as you do, paying attention to how you feel today. You may be tired, maybe things have been busy for you. You may be doing this later in the day and you're just, looking for a little bit of fun. That's okay as well. So taking another nice deep inhale through the nose, if that's good for you at the moment. And exhale everything out. And we're going to start very simply with a little side bend. So inhale, reaching the arms forward and up, interlacing the fingers, and take a little or a big lean to one side, thinking about length through the spine as you go to the side. So no holding the breath, nice steady breath for you today, whatever that is. Inhale back to the center and release your arms down and give it a little bit of a roll back. Okay, interlace the fingers, maybe the first fingers pointing forward. That's good as well. It's a type of mudra. Inhale, lift through the spine and coming over to the other side. Nice deep breath. So paying attention to how the body feels, head's nestling in the arms. If the arms overhead doesn't feel good for you, keep the arms down by your side. It's your practice. It's about getting you up in the morning, not me. Okay, rolling the shoulders back again, just giving them a little bit of a movement. Inhale, extend through the arms now, reaching through the fingertips. And hold, shoulders are down. And then see if you can lift the fingers up, pointing towards the ceiling, pushing through the heel of the hand now. Very active through the arms. Tummy's drawn in, standing nice and tall. And on your next exhale, allow that to release. Okay, we're going to come into a little bit of a back bend. So for most people, this is easier with the feet apart. I would suggest hip width. Tummy is drawn in to start with and thinking about the length of the body. So this might be enough. Hands can come to the center, breastbone pushing into the thumbs and lift the gaze slightly. It's not about throwing the neck back. We're just getting a bit of length in the front of the body, thinking about the length, and then starting to send the hips forward, maybe a little bit more length, and lift through the center of the chest. And so for some of you, it may feel good to bring the arms back, squeezing the elbows towards each other, looking up, and release. And one more. So some of you, want to come a little bit deeper. Inhale. Lift this time, reaching the arms apart and up and over. However, don't make this about throwing yourself back into your lower back. Make this about lifting up. Lift through the center of the body, the center of the chest, and release it down. Okay, come to the front of the mat if you're not there already, and we're going to go through Surya Namaskara A just the one time. So paying attention to how the body feels. This is just about getting us moving. Nothing serious. Inhale, reaching the arms forward and up. Exhale, soften and fold through the hips. Allow the head to hang. So keeping it quite slow and easy. Inhale, lift the chest, paying attention to how you're feeling emotionally and physically. Stepping back and hold your plank, possibly for a breath. So depending on you, you may be on your knees, that's good as well. Pushing into the heels, knees could be down, tummy is drawn in, and then drop chaturanga, knees down, or chaturanga all the way, and tuck the toes, pressing into the top of the feet. Inhale, a little cobra, or you may be lifting fully Upward facing dog. Exhale, picking the hips back and up, rolling over the toes to downward facing dog. So keeping space in the shoulders. Nice long steady breath. Maybe pedaling into one leg and then the other. And at some point, find your point of the pose, whatever works for you. You can be on your knees, working on your puppy. That's good as well. So keeping as much space in the body as you can. Tummy drawn in, nice steady breath. On your next inhale, coming forward, walk or step to the front of the mat. Chest lifted, straighten the legs if that's good for you. And then exhale, forward fold. A slight softness in the knees. I'm still wiggling. Inhale, rise up, press the palms, and release it down. Okay. So in the morning, we want to build a little heat, we want to build a little energy, and we can do that with our movement. So we're going to take it now from A to B. A little bit stronger, builds a little bit more heat. Yeah, make it what it needs to be for you today. Inhale, sitting back and down. Low into your chair pose, hands to the chest or lift up. Thinking about sending the hips back. Pelvic floor engaged, lower tummy engaged. Exhale, fold. This is a very slow version, holding each pose for a little bit more than the one breath. Inhale, lift the chest. Get in length. Exhale, stepping back, or maybe you're ready to jump into chaturanga. So from the plank, lower chaturanga, knees down if that's better for you. Inhale, upward facing or cobra. Exhale, downward facing. So if you can, work on rolling over the toes. It really helps the feet. And settling into down dog for one breath. Okay, coming forward into warrior one, stepping the right foot forward between the hands, placing the left heel down, really push firmly into the heels, set up your foundation, tummy drawn in, warrior one. Maybe you're working with the arms up today. And take it back down, stepping, turning onto the left toes, stepping back, plank, lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Coming into the left side, left foot comes forward, right heel places down. Set up your lunge, tummy drawn in, pelvic floor engaged. Maybe staying here or lift. Keeping everything quite loose for me today, which is good, feels good, about making movement rather than, perfecting poses. And lower down, inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. So settling into your down dog this time. Finding a little bit of what your body and mind needs today. So focus on your breath. Long, steady inhale, full exhale. Lifting up through the hips, again, lengthen the spine. Gazing forward and step to the front of the mat, chest lifted. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, press in the palms and release it down. Okay, we're going to step out to the side and keeping your feet nice and turned, ever so slightly turned down, reaching shoulders down and out, turning the right hip, right leg all the way out. We're going to take lunge into warrior two. I should have told you where we're going. So find your warrior two. Shoulders down, hips are open, nice and strong. And from here, reaching over, taking right arm to the rest on the right thigh, maybe keeping the left arm down if that feels better for you, or rolling through the shoulder, reaching forward past, past the head, and turn into your extended side angle. If you wish, take the right hand to the floor if that's your practice today, that's good. Inhale, coming all the way up, straightening the right leg. This time we're going to come into our Trikonasana triangle pose, so reaching over that right side. Maybe take the hand to the shin, to the floor, take the toe, your choice. Maybe look into the top hand, maybe you like to wrap it around the back. It's also good to look to the floor for your balance, and setting yourself back to the center, turning the right foot in, turning the left out, setting up warrior two, taking your lunge, so try not to lean forward or back. You want to be nice and strong in the center, reaching through the fingertips for warrior two. And find a little bit of ease and strength here. These are very strong poses. Well, once you're there, strong foundation, tummy drawn in to support you fully. Go back to the breath. Find that little ease point, taking yourself into your extended side angle, whatever that is for you today. Thinking about shoulders rolling open. It's closing. Shoulders are an odd one. When you say opening, it looks like they're closing, and vice versa. Inhale, back up. Maybe touch warrior two again, straightening that left leg and coming into triangle for you today, whatever that is. So for some of you who like to be very active, maybe not using that bottom arm at all, reaching away with it, kind of nice. It all becomes about the core strength then if you're suspending the arms like that. Just be careful that whatever you're doing is doing you good, no harm. Okay, inhale, rise up, turning the right foot in, and give it a little wiggle, a little bit closer together. We're moving into wide leg forward fold, and thinking about strength in the legs as you send your hips back. I'm going to take my hands behind, interlace the fingers, keeping the elbows bent, and moving the shoulders closer together, rolling the shoulders away from the ears as I come forward and down. Thinking about that strong foundation, tummy drawn in, pelvic floor engaged, and drawing the torso closer to the thighs. So you can do this with soft knees. Those of you that wish, maybe want to straighten up the arms now, taking them away from the back, tuck the chin, and work into the shoulders a little bit, so no force. Nice, steady breath. Inhale, coming all the way back up, and release it there. Turn the feet out. We're going to come into Malasana squat. So sinking yourself down. So I haven't taken my feet close enough together. Adjust what's good for you. Some people like to support underneath the heels. Maybe you're going to hold. But it's quite nice when we're waking up in the morning just to give it a little wiggle, getting into the hips a little bit. Wherever you are, maybe you like to sink down in between the thighs a little bit. And we're going to come to sit. So carefully sitting down, legs out in front. We're going to come into Dandasana. Thinking about that internal rotation of the thighs and the legs. Tummy drawn in, ribs back and down, hands next to the thighs, flexing the feet. Gaze towards your toes. Nice length in the back, but strong. So we're sitting up onto the sit bones and reaching down through the arms. From here, going to come into our forward fold, soften through the knees so we can roll forward in the pelvis a little bit more, coming onto the front of those sit bones and reaching forward and down. So this is not a reach forward, making everything round. Keep the back nice and long. Maybe take the toes. If it's part of your practice to straighten the legs, you can go ahead and straighten now. Sink a little bit further down. Tummy drawn in, ribs moving along the length of the legs. So for some, it's actually a good hold to take the sides of the feet and draw them back towards you, especially if you do a lot of sports, a lot of running. Might feel intense, but it's good for you. So go easy on these deep stretches first thing in the morning. Our bodies aren't as supple when we're waking up. Ease into it with the breath. And your next inhale, sitting tall, tummy drawn in and release. Okay, point the toes. Coming into our reverse support, either keeping the hips down, hands to the floor, and lift the chest, tummy drawn in. Those of you that wish to come a little bit further, you're going to lift hips up, ribs up, maybe send the head back. Might feel better for you to look the length of the body, keeping the gaze forward. And then release. And sitting tall again. Okay, bending the right leg, sitting up. Either take the twist there or move the foot across the left leg. Think of the internal rotation of both legs as you roll and spiral to the right. Tucking the chin towards the right shoulder. Thinking about the length of the spine. Just twisting along the length rather than crunching down. And release. Okay. Taking the right foot to rest on top of the left thigh. Sitting tall here, fingertips to the floor. And thinking about this lift up. Or you may wish to lean back, take the left foot up to stand, and then work towards this leg with the chest. So again, lengthen the body as you sit forward. Okay, so be careful. See how this feels in the knee. Flexing the foot maintains strength in the ankle, so it's not all collapsed. And so if we don't flex the foot, we kind of collapse into that ankle joint. It's better flexed, and then it takes that stretch into the hip. There's always intention in some of the madness that goes on. Okay, reaching the right leg forward now and coming into the other side. So sitting tall, pulling the left leg in, chest towards the thigh, maybe taking it across the leg for your twist. Wrapping the right arm around the left shin, making contact with the ribs and the thigh if you can, and spiral round. Chin tucking towards the shoulder. If it feels good for you, you may just want to come a little way. And release. Foot flexed and on the opposite thigh, either staying there, sitting tall, or coming into this lifted version. So the knee is out to the side, just making sure that it feels safe at all times, and you're bringing the chest closer to your shin. So the closer you get to the folded leg, they're both folded, closer you get to the leg that's on top, the deeper the stretch is going to be into all the muscles in the left hip. And release. Okay, coming into a little bit more activity. So coming into Navasana, just a couple of little lifts. I'm going to use my blocks. If you don't have blocks, don't worry about it. You could press the hands into the floor. You don't need to do a lift at all. But we're going to start with Navasana. Tummy drawn in and finding the balance point just behind the sit bones. Knees are squeezing together. Pelvic floor engaged, lower tummy lift the legs. So this could be with the feet on the floor. There's not an awful lot of difference between this and here. This just helps you balance a little bit more. The big difference comes when you straighten up the legs. So maybe you're straighten with the fingers to the floor. Cross at the ankles, squeeze the heels towards the bottom and lift up, swinging back a little bit, placing it back down, coming into Navasana. Shoulders released as much as possible. Maybe you're going, ha, whew, and being active today. Yeah, your choice. Maybe that's a bit too much. Maybe it's still early. Cross the ankles and forward, lift and pull back and place it back down. Okay, I'm going to move my blocks, and this time as I tuck under, going to jump back and lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Last little energy boost before we finish. Reaching the right leg, backing up and going for the stretch into the left leg, the standing leg, and a few little pulses through the right. So lifting the heel with the leg straight and pulsing towards the ceiling and placing it back down. Left leg now lifting up and keeping my hips square, keeping pushing evenly into both hands, and a few little pulses. And release. Looking forward between the hands, a little bit of a hop, skip, cross the legs and come to sit. So I'm going to finish our practice here. Tummy drawn in, chest lifted. If you wish, finger and thumb come to touch, back of the wrists resting on the knees, shoulders down. Inhale, nice and long. Exhale. 2 more breaths like this. Thinking of pelvic floor, lower tummy, and the chin tucked. Keeping the energy within the body. And taking left hand in front, right hand behind. And we'll take a little twist to end. And swap which leg's in front. I've now got my left in front, right hand to the front, left behind, and taking a twist. And release. So our practice is done. You can go ahead and build a little bit more, lie down, take a rest for 5 minutes, or get up and go and have a good day.